Welcome, everybody, to episode 1 of the Alternate Shot video stream and podcast. This will be in audio form as well, so if you'd like to follow along on your commutes, it'll be up on the FTN Network as well. So I'm Axis. I'll be joined by Sky. We're going to try to do one of these every Monday evening on some DFS, and then every Tuesday evening for some betting. What's going on, Sky?
Axis, long time coming to get us on a little bit of consistent basis for our podcasts. You know, we've been working together for 5 years now, pretty much, and intermittently always have content in so many different forms, but just a steady, consistent podcast slash video format for us to see our lovely faces for everyone out there on YouTube checking this out. But no, this is an exciting year again. We saw a lot of progress, I think, overall in our DFS and betting games in 2020, and now to really take that to the next level and keep it going at FTN.
Yeah, and so the idea behind these episodes are going to be quick hitters. So we're going to try to keep these between 15, 20 minutes max. It's going to be some first reactions to DFS pricing or the market odds, a little bit of course breakdown type stuff. Like I said, some of our maybe our top value, top golfer we're going to fade, and then we can even get into some questions in the future that we will be soliciting from the premium member Discord as well. So again, these are just like kind of first look type things, first quick gut reactions to what we're going to be seeing for the golf tournament of the week. That's PGA, Euro, and hopefully DraftKings continues to offer us LPGA as well.
Yeah, no, that's what's hopefully ahead for all of us. Euro is something that was a huge passion project for us a couple years ago, and now in our daily routine, studying the European Tour, and that's going to come with the LPGA. Hopefully, maybe even some outlaw action that they give us in 2021. Fingers crossed. But we're always game for whatever they're going to offer us, and we are never short of words. But we're going to do our best. Again, quick hitters, start off your week.
Yeah, I can definitely rant with the best of them. So going along with that, there'll be a little bit of content change as well for me. My main DFS content will be this pod/video, and I will also be releasing my course previews, full in-depth tournament previews, if you will, on Tuesdays now. And that'll be it for me in DFS. I'll be doing a lot more on the betting side, whether it's outrights, matchups, write-ups on better betting processes, tips and tricks, things of that nature, things to look out for. So it's going to be a really fun year of swapping a lot of content. However, there'll be still plenty for everybody to consume. And I know yours is going to change a little bit.
I'm hoping to kind of, with your guidance of a little bit, work on some cornerstone piece to start off the week, hopefully in a video format. Keep that going as a couple golfers that we're, highlighting, if that's cash games or the centerpieces of our GPPs, no matter the ownership coming with, and work on that being out early in the week, hopefully Mondays for that. Little video piece. I think the 7 Under 7 was very well received last year. Gave me a chance to do what I really enjoy, and that's kind of find these unheralded golfers who may have gotten through Monday qualifiers or sponsors exemptions. So that will hold strong, and then we'll do a European DFS deep dive, kind of walking through the rolling stats as we go. So those will be the 3 pieces, and you can always find our exposures too in our cheat sheets for FDN that will come with, and so that's kind of the main things from my end.
Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, we said we'd try to keep these short, so we're going to jump into the Sentry Tournament of Champions, mostly champions this year. There are some golfers who didn't win. If you're not aware, because of the schedule, they condensed the schedule last because of COVID. So if you were top 30 in the FedEx points rankings, you also got an invite. Some of those golfers took advantage. So we actually have a little bit of I think it's larger than normal, 43 golfers I have. Playing at Plantation Course in Kapalua. If you've never seen it, it is unique. Elevation changes galore. I'm sure you're going to see on the coverage. I'm sure they'll show DJ's almost hole-in-one on the par 4 where he smashed it. We got bulked up Bryson here now, so Lord knows. I mean, he might fly over the green, to be honest, using a 3-wood. The elevation changes are nuts. They can get some huge drives here. So you'll see all about that. And driving distance is important every week. I don't know if it's as important sometimes as it gets pushed here, and I think that's because a lot of guys can get the ball out there with some of these elevation changes. A lot of wedges here, a lot of shots, just for the average golfer inside of 125 yards. It's par 73, roughly 7,500 yards. Green regulations are easy, driving accuracy. I mean, the fairways are wide, so grip it and rip it.
Yeah, I think I don't love these weeks at times because it ends up who makes the most 10-footers. That kind of is what you'll see. And I guess 10-footers or set yourself up with enough of those easy looks that you're going to make. I mean, Justin Thomas won last year, not even putting all that great. Xander got into the playoff, I think, losing strokes on the green last year. So, I mean, you can get it done without running hot with the putter, but it's just giving yourself the consistent 10-foot looks to make enough and be there. I mean, we saw Spieth win, I think, at 30 under in the past. This can be done with a really scorching hot earth putter. So it's an interesting. I'm not ruling out anybody because of their style of game for sure.
No, I think it does lean towards some of the longer hitters, but again, at the same time, longer hitters are typically the better golfers with how the PGA courses are set up. Like, they just lean that way to begin with. Like, distance is always one of the most important basic stats on a week-to-week basis. So I think it can be a slight advantage here, but I don't think it's anything. From what I've seen, I don't think it's anything crazy. And I think that's just because of some of the elevation and some of the numbers that are out there inflate some things. So when I looked at relative to par scoring, and there'll be a lot more of that in the in-depth breakdown if you want to get into really why I think that way. So we'll save some of that for behind the curtain. But unless you got anything else on the course, we can jump into the pricing. DraftKings got the pricing out there and take our first look. Yeah,
no, it's also a fun. I'm someone who wakes up early, so I like watching golf early in the morning. Why I love the European sweat too. But there's something about primetime golf too.
And Hawaii.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm living in Michigan right now, so we just got a bunch of snow for the first time. I think it just snowed before the new year, but it's now sticking. So it'll be nice to see Hawaii on my screen.
Yep. Amen. No, let's dive into these prices.
So my first look, imported pricing, pulled up my ratings, projections, yada yada yada, and I caught some flack for this golfer too when I posted my top 10 golfers coming into 2021 based on my ratings. And I think Xander Schauffele at 10K is actually pretty solid value, especially for these golfers who are priced up in this field. He is 10K, but he's my favorite of any of those high 9s to 10K up to even DJ at 11K. And that doesn't even really get into his course history here, which is 22nd, first, and a second place. Obviously plays well here. I know he said he got COVID early December, felt a little fatigued and whatnot, but he's there. He obviously passed the test. He's feeling well enough to tee it up. And I had him slightly above JT on my ratings, and I got lit up by a few people for that. But it's because he doesn't win a lot, and he did win the low at the Tour Championship. So he played very well last year. I would beg anybody to go look into it. If you think I was crazy for having him 0.05 strokes better than Justin Thomas, feel free to look up how Xander played last year. But he's my top value, I think, at first glance.
Yeah, I'm a big Xander backer too, and I'll probably reference this a couple times in the podcast here today, and hopefully those listening also tuned into that fantasy golf draft got to be a part of. And I thought Xander was right there for the 5th pick overall. He's priced fifth here in this format this week, but I mean, he was neck and neck with Rory for me as that 5th value. I mean, JT seems so obvious to kind of the community as a better play, but I mean, X won multiple events, I guess, over a couple years. He just hasn't came through as much, but consistent wise, yeah, I think DraftKings scoring wise makes birdies in bunches. I really, really am a fan of Xander, bullish on him long term, but in this event too.
Yeah, I mean, bad weeks for Xander are 25th. And in a field like this where, you don't always get superstars winning all season. So, we have golfers in this field that aren't that great when compared to PGA Tour average. I'll float that out there. So there's some guys you just assume Xander's going to be, like I said, even on a bad week, flirting with top 20s. So always nice. And there's no cut this week either. So just wanted to throw that out there. But
yeah, with only 42 golfers in the field, I mean, it gets to a unique construction also for DraftKings now that strategy element is going to be a little bit more important when lineup building. But again, the core plays that stick out to us are going to be ones that you can make other moves around when these golfers are fractions of strokes to find ownership in that sense. I think that's something, again, I'm going to focus on not always just needing to find the 1% play, but maybe a better construction or an idea of where to go to still find valuable plays or a valuable construction that eliminates, a flyer of a lineup that I sometimes let myself build, even in 3 max type of entries.
Right.
For me, a guy that stood out a lot that I really am high on again over the season, and I thought 7,300 was a steal for this golfer, and it's Jason Kokorak. I mean, Kokorak won for the first time in Vegas at not sure what's the Shadow
was it CJ Cup this year?
Yeah, he won at Shadow Creek. Sherwood was the next week. Yeah, so at Vegas at his home course, Kokorak there. But I mean, that stretch he went into leading in that win was no joke. I mean, we finally got that Jason Kokorak long sample size that we were wanting to. Of course, it came with immediate regression with the final 2 events being miscut, and he blew everything up at the Masters for about 40% of people that rostered him. But the way he sets up, his ball striking, this price more than anything is just feeding into what I like about Kokorak as a golfer. So 7,300 was immediate first glance for me.
Yeah, he was. We talked prior to recording, and we both liked him as well. So I mean, he was on his off the tee game, and off the tee is one of the most consistent, or it is the most consistent of the 4 strokes gained statistics. It's been lights out since dating back to like mid 2019. Like the guy, he's had a couple tournaments negative, but it was like negative 0.1 or negative 0.4 or something. Like it's just been ridiculous how good he's been off the tee. And we haven't got to see him at this course where, like I said, if he pounds the rock out there, the irons have been good. I don't understand the 7,300 in my opinion. I feel like that is an old Jason Kokorak price, and the market obviously doesn't believe that he will continue whatever switch he flipped to have his 2020 campaign. I guess the market doesn't believe in it, therefore his price, DraftKings typically matches the market. So I don't know. I guess I believe in it a little bit more, and I would have expected him to be like 8K.
That's the thing. I mean, not saying I'm going to fade these 2 golfers, but I almost kind of loop them a little bit together in the sense of Cam Smith and Abe Answer finished the year strong. Just 2 weeks of those elevations of what you saw at the Masters for Cam. Answer was, in the mix, the Masters 54 holes. They're 8K and 8,400. I mean, Cam did win in Hawaii, but are they arguably that different of golfers? I don't know when you get to say that, okay, $1,000 worth of difference between those guys. So to me, Kokorak stands out as maybe bunched with them, and the price in that sense, and not getting the bias because he missed a couple cuts to finish the year.
Yeah, and so to get to our next little segment here, he's actually priced $100 cheaper than who I think is one of the worst price, and that's Mark Leishman at 7,400. I don't get it. I know some people jumped on at the Masters a little bit because of some history there, but and he showed up. He finished 13th. He had been putrid before that. But again, he has one good tournament, and I'm supposed to believe that he's just going to be regular Mark Leishman at 7,400. Like that's just not me. I mean, maybe he's found something over the break to figure it out, but his off the tee game was pretty bad all 2020. And his irons have been bad since about August. So, I mean, literally everything's been bad basically since August. Like, he really was hardly gaining strokes in any category. It was random. So, that is somebody that I will be fading at 7,400. If it bites me, it bites me. But in this type of field, like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think the other one that we may be aligned on that I'm not as in agreement with that you see at 9,800 does be. I just so much more would rather get to Xander than this golfer, but I can never find myself getting or playing or betting or backing Patrick Cantlay. So 9,800 for me up top when you can just pay $200 more for Xander is somebody that I'm crossing out on a first look here. To me, when we would rather just gain leverage on who we deem as a value up top.
Yeah, he finally found it near the end of the year. I say found it. He's pretty consistently good too, but he won at Zozo. But I'm with you. There's just other golfers in that range that I would rather play, like you said. So I'll find the 200 to get me up to Xander, and if that's where I'm left. So, but yeah, I think look at that. We're gonna hit about 15 in the first episode, in as much as we like to rant. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We're always looking for feedback. Again, this is the first episode, so feel free to let us know. Drop in the Discord, DMs on Twitter. Find us. Let us know what you think worked, didn't work, or some other things you'd like to see. Drop some questions, and we'll try to get to those. And then look out tomorrow for the second episode, which we will be going over hopefully some of our favorite bets or just interesting things we see in the market.
Yeah, and don't forget, with the launch of our podcast, we have a new promo code out for FTN Daily, FTN Bets, ALT, Ultimate Shot here. We'll tweet out the link for that discounted code. You can type that in to get all access to the content that we have. We have FTN Daily that's going to be covering DraftKings FanDuel for the PGA, Euro, LPGA, get you in the Discord, get to see the exposures from all of us, and then as well, FTN Bets, that you'll see all of Access's and myself and Javi and Noonan, anyone else that's kind of laying bets down on golf in the new year here. So just wanted to let you guys know that new promo code ALT, and we're in store for a heck of a year coming up.
Yeah, definitely use that. It gets you 10% off, and like I said, you have direct access to us in the premium members Discord as well. A lot of sharp minds in there too. So we hope to see you there and joining us. And good luck this week, everybody.